Hey everyone, back in Washington this week after a great and productive time back in the Treasure Coast last week. Last Friday, we had a 4.5 hour town hall, stayed to answer every single question. I appreciate everybody who came by, bringing your questions, bringing your comments. Thank you for being out there. I believe we live in an incredible country where we can all voice our concerns and play a role in the direction that we're headed. And this conversation, I think, was especially important ahead of the president's address before a joint session of Congress this past Tuesday. I was in the chamber for that address and was glad to hear a vision of bipartisanship to try to bridge some of those differences in opinion that were on display even at our own town hall in the Treasure Coast. We know that we have differences, but despite that, I believe that there is far more that unites us than what divides us. And, that's always a great place to start, and we can work together from there. But let's never forget that we have a lot that unites us, and we're very great in that. Now, there are some big challenges ahead for our country, without a doubt. Ensuring that our communities are safe and improving our country for our children's generation, it's not easy. It's never easy, but I'm committed to working with anyone that has that same kind of positive vision, who wants to make Washington work for the people again, wants to unleash the dreams of Americans. That's what this job has to be all about. And following the speech, I spoke about some things that affect that. I spoke at our bipartisan Everglades caucus meeting, urging that President Trump include the Everglades restoration in his call for a bold and daring $1 trillion infrastructure proposal. I will be pushing for full funding of our Lake Okeechobee and Everglades projects. The president often touts that he has a record of building world-class projects ahead of schedule and under budget. So I am calling on him to create an Everglades restoration infrastructure task force to essentially secure complete funding for the completion of those projects that are impacting harmful Lake Okeechobee discharges and algal blooms into our community. This week, we also took a look at bipartisan action to increase transparency and really get rid of some burdensome red tape. And I think this is some of the best work that we've done. We passed the Regulatory Integrity Act, which it basically requires that there's publication of information relating to pending regulations. You have to publicize everything out there that's about pending regulation. It's a very important act that allows people to understand how it is that we get to the conclusions that we get to, why it is that we do something. We also passed the Scrub Act, and the Scrub Act was to create a commission to identify what is duplicative, redundant, and what are some obsolete regulations that exist out there. The goal is to streamline the government and to cut the fat of government. And these bills, they allow us to save the taxpayers money. They allow us to do it without jeopardizing the effectiveness of important regulations like those that protect our environment, those that safeguard our seniors. Getting a clear picture of the problem, in my opinion, it's always the first step on the long road of fixing the way that something works, especially the way that Washington, D.C. works. And that's what I'm working to do, is put control back in the hands of people like you. Now, in addition to the votes that we took, I had the opportunity to essentially meet with more than 20 different groups and organizations that were in town advocating for issues that are important to our community. Met with people that wanted to discuss water quality, officials from Martin County and St. Lucie County. Big thank you to those commissioners from both counties for coming to DC to share their thoughts about what it is that we can do up here to help. One of the things that I always keep in mind when I'm working is that people need to come before politics. That has to be the guiding philosophy, the guiding principle. It's what's behind my efforts here to clean up our waterways. It's the guiding philosophy for, frankly, every decision that I make here. How is it that we put you first? How do we do that in everything that we're doing? Now, quickly, before I wrap up for this week, I want to offer my sincere congratulations to the Palm Beach State College on the grand opening of their Loxahatchee campus, and to the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals on their grand opening of their new ballpark in West Palm Beach. These are some great additions to our community. That's what I've got for you this week. As always, it's an honor to represent you in Congress. I hope that you all have a great week. I hope that you continue to reach out to me with your questions, with your comments, with your concerns. Put our offices to work. Let us know how we can go to work for you, how I can be a better representative for you, and I will absolutely do that. So thank you again, and I look forward to talking to you all soon.